Today we're going to talk about function stacking. What is function stacking? That is using the same material over and over again, or remnants of the same material over and over again, to do or feed different aspects in your homestead. So most of you have a garden. Your garden produces waste when you weed. It also produces fruits or vegetables that are unwanted or unusable. So you got waste vegetables. You've got trimmings. If you trim your tomato plant back or such. And then you also got the produce. What do you do with the waste products? Do you just throw them away? Do you leave them on your garden bed to mulch in place? You know, that's a form of small function stacking, is to leave it in place. So chop and drop. You're feeding the garden soil back again with the waste material. So you're not disposing of it. It's not leaving your property. Okay. You could also, compost. And when you compost, you get compost that you can run back onto your garden. So, I mean, you could take all this waste and direct it right into composting, and then bring the composting back up to the garden. That's a good start. But you can also bring that further. Do you have any animals on your homestead? Do you have chickens, poultry? Do you have rabbits? Do you have waterfowl? If you do, you can even bring that even further. You can have poultry. You're going to have their manure, and you're going to get eggs and meat for yourself. You can have rabbits. You're going to have their manure, and you're going to have meat for yourself. You can have waterfowl. And they're going to have manure and meat and eggs. So you can take the weeds and the waste vegetables, you can feed your animals with it, take the manure and bring it back to the garden. Or you can take the manure and bring it to the compost and bring it back to the garden. So you're stacking functions. You can also have aquaponics, so you could have a little fish system, and then you have their waste water, and then you also have fish to eat. You can also have a biochar system that produces biochar. You can also have black soldier flies, and they're going to produce larvae, and they're going to produce frass, which is their droppings, and when they pupate, the shells and stuff from their pupation. So, your end goal for yourself are your eggs and meat and your produce. We're going to put an orchard here too. Let's say you have some fruit trees or fruit bushes. So you're going to have your cuttings. You're going to have some wood when you trim your trees, and then you're also going to get your fruit. Okay? So you can take your weeds and feed your rabbits. You can take your waste vegetables and feed your poultry and your black soldier fly with that. Your trimmings, you can feed your rabbits. You can feed some of your waterfowl will eat that. Your cuttings you can feed to your rabbits. The wood will feed your biochar production. Let's see. We'll get your manure is going to be more of a wet manure off of a waterfowl. That is great to feed your orchard trees. Your manure from your rabbits is a perfect thing to feed your black soldier fly or worms. Worms are another good thing. You can also feed your garden directly with that manure. It's a cold manure. Your poultry manure, you're going to want to feed into your compost. Your fish waste can get pumped onto your garden into like a wicking bed, so it cleans it hydroponically, and then the clean water goes back to the fish. Okay, your black soldier fly larvae will feed your fish as well as your poultry. They love those. The frass can go back into composting, or it's great to go back into worms. And then the worms can go into your composting. Your biochar is a great product. You're going to put it on your orchard. You're going to put it on your garden. You're going to put it in your compost. It's going to go in your poultry house for bedding, and they also pick through it and eat it. And go through into the bedding here. Keep your smells down, and it's also good for them to eat. And all of this is all coming back so you can get your fruit, your produce, your meat, and eggs going to you. Those are all coming to you. What do you do with your waste? You know, when you cook and whatnot, it's going to the compost, going back into the system. The less that is leaving your property means the more nutrients you are keeping on your property. And every time you add a cycle, so your weed going to the rabbits, their manure going to the black soldier fly, frass is going to the compost, and then the compost goes back. Compost is going back to your garden and to your orchard. You've got all those separate steps there. That is all adding a different layer of life to your soil. They're taking a little bit of nutrients, but they're adding life. They're adding bacteria from their gut. They're adding the nutrients that other processes have not finished. The more you can function stack, the more resilient your property will be, the more productive it'll be, the more nutrient dense your food will be. You know, and do this for your own property. What animals do you have? What systems do you have? You know, do you have gardens? Do you have animals? Do you have biochar? Do you have worms? You know, what systems can you add? And that is a very easy way to add nutrients back in. And, you know, the more that you're feeding your animals, or even your garden, stuff that is coming from your property, less money you're spending. That means that all all of this production is costing you less, you know, making you more resilient in the end too. And that is a great way to provide for the future of you, your family, and your future generations. I'm Kevin. This is Ask an Embra Soil Systems, and thank you for watching.